Chile, a country located in South America, has undergone drastic changes in its economy and politics. But how did it become known as the economic miracle of Latin America? Before that, I ask you to subscribe, like and share. In 1985, Chile recorded impressive economic growth, reducing poverty from 45% to 30% and increasing the country's wealth from 0.9% to 5.5% of GDP. But how did it achieve this? Poverty fell from 50% to 7.8% while GDP per capita increased from $5,000 to $23,000, thanks to the liberal policies that were applied in Chile. In the 1970s, under Allende's government, Chile faced an economic crisis. Inflation exceeded 500% and the country was in debt. In 1975, Chile was a country devastated by Salvador Allende's interventionist policies. Added to the socio-economic ruin was the lack of political freedoms. In 1973, a military coup changed the course of the country. During his government, stabilization policies were implemented and the stabilization of the public deficit and the reduction of state employment were promoted. A group of Chilean economists, trained at the University of Chicago and Milton Friedman, promoted reforms that liberalized the economy. These Chicago boys believed in minimal state intervention. The Chilean model inspired world leaders such as Margaret Thatcher and Ronald Reagan to implement it. But why is this model so controversial? It all started in 2019, when President Pinera decreed an increase in public transport fares in Santiago. The left took advantage of this and called people onto the streets of Chile. They were full of protesters. The streets of Chile were full of protesters. But the discontent was no longer about the fees, but about economic inequality and the Chilean economic model. Despite their economic success, many Chileans feel that inequality continues to be a problem, but the countries that are most concerned about inequality are the poorest. Demands for change led to the proposal of a new constitution. In recent years, the size of the government in Chile has grown since Michelle Bachelet's government in 2006. In that year, public debt rose from 13.2% to 37.2% of GDP, moving away from the model that originated its miracle economic. The question is, what future awaits Chile? Will you be able to find a balance between economic growth and social justice? Chile is at a crossroads. Its economic history is a lesson for the world, but also a reminder that the path to progress is complex and challenging.